Hello, everyone! Today, we're going to be talking about Undertale and Deltarune, and a theory that I've been cooking up for a long time, but now I think it's a great time to talk about it. Because I think there's enough evidence and key points to this theory to be like, oh my god, this actually could actually be happening. So, number one, big key point about this theory. I think Gaster is, first off, the designer of Neotech. Because I think Gaster was living during the Great War, because he didn't have any children, so monsters don't age. And he was the royal scientist of Asgore. Mind you, he made the core and other things along those lines. And there was a monster eradication device blueprints. That's a weird thing to have laying around in Alphys's labs. Mind you, that could have happened during, any time when the humans were falling down and stuff like that. And I will admit to that. But I feel like that, human eradication device, or Neo, I think that was a Great War technology blueprint. And he was designing stuff like that during the Great War to fight off humanity. However, he didn't get to that point because he didn't have the resources because they were fighting a Great War. Until they were sealed underground, and then he had all the time of the world to make the core and a whole bunch of other things. So that's part one of the theory. Part two of the theory is, I believe Kris is actually the ancient human from original Undertale. And what I mean by that is Kris's design from the intro human, basically identical. The sword, the little cape, the hairstyle, and even the silhouette just matches almost identical to Kris. And in Kris's actions, when they become soulless, they're weird. They're off-putting. They're not normal. A normal child's not gonna turn around, look weird, and stuff like that. They're just, I think though, and this is what I think, Kris is the ancient human from the Great War, but has amnesia / doesn't remember anything during the Great War, because this is part 3 of the theory. Gaster did something when he fell into the core. So, you remember when Azuriel Dreamer said, specifically the god of hyperdeath, said, I can erase everything, make everyone forget everything, and reset the timeline? I think because Gaster fell into the core and got shattered in reality, he became as powerful as Azuriel Dreamer, but in a different way. Because getting fractured in that way into something that was powered by a massive, insane amount of magic, similar to how Azuriel Dreamer was able to suck all the souls in the underground, I think Gaster gained Azuriel Dreamer's God of Hyperdeath power, but in his own weird way, and was able to make a new entire world. So probably even stronger than Azuriel Dreamer's power, and manipulate the entire timeline by flipping humans and monsters around. Monsters in the light, on the surface and being like humans, and the actual humans, because there's here's the crazy big evidence. You remember when we saw the Titan in Chapter 4? Let's take a look at that Titan real quick. So did anyone think about this entire image? When they first see the Titan, it looks like a bald head, has a nose, and a mouth. That's a human. Gaster made the humans into Titans. Literal monsters of pure evil and darkness. And another thing, the song literally related to Titans. It's called Guardian. Why is it called Guardian? When we're fighting against something pure evil and needs to be destroyed. There's a other word. There's a very good phrase for, guardians. Like guardian angel. Ha! And, the angel's related to humans. So, tricky Tony here, trying to trick us. But I'm not gonna get tricked. This is a human. And these are our guardians for the angel, which is us. So, after talking about that, I need to also speak about something else. Something a little bit more interesting, in addition to everything else that we already spoke about with related to the monsters and all that. Chapter 6 Secret Boss. So, every single second secret boss, from what I have seen, so chapters 2 and 4 secret bosses, had a Undertale undertone to it. What I mean by that is Spamton NEO was a fight about, guess what? The Neo form from Undertale. Gerson Boom was a fight talking about the great legend himself, the Lord of the Hammer, that we weren't able to fight in Undertale. That's weird. So I'm assuming in Chapter 6, we're going to fight something related to Undertale. But what are we supposed to fight? I think we're going to fight, well, let me show you. Which we have two possibilities. One, the ancient human, or two, Sans Undertale. Each of these have their own merits and reasons why they would show up and be here. For the ancient human side, the ancient human would be here mainly to explain to the soul and to Kris about who they truly are. And basically confirm that someone or something is controlling everything behind the scenes, and not everything seems as it seems. Sans would do the same thing, but more of someone's manipulating the timeline. He's been acting casual, trying to figure out the anomaly, and has no idea yet. He also knew about the roaring, so that's why he created a timeline machine to escape this timeline just in case if the world would end. Because guess what? He knows about the legend, similar to Gerson Boom. So to give an overview on everything so far, number one, Gaster's the designer of Neotech and was the original creator of the human eradication devices that Alphys used during the genocide route against you, and also then specifically Spamton in Chapter 2 in Deltarune. Part 2 is Kris is being the ancient human, but basically moved from Undertale's Great War part of the timeline to Deltarune's timeline, with their memories being erased and being a child again, and having no memories of exactly what's happening. 3, Gaster becoming a similar god to the god of Hyperdeath, as your dreamer, and was able to create the world of Deltarune. There's so many linking connections to that, especially for him saying my Deltarune and other things like that. It's very likely that the voice in Deltarune, like at the very beginning and throughout, is Gaster speaking via to the soul directly. For humanity and monster kind's roles got switched around, so monsters are on the surface now and being like humans, and humans are actually the monsters, the roaring titans, they're destined to destroy the world. Similar to probably the reversal to what happened during the Great War. The monsters attacked the humans. I think that's just an antigram for what actually happened. Things got reversed due to Gaster's manipulation and stuff like that. And 5, finally, Chapter 6's secret boss is going to be related to a very key part of Undertale's lore, similar to the Neo body from Spamton from Deltarune Chapter 2, Gerst and Boom from Chapter 4, and I would believe either Sans Undertale / Deltarune in Chapter 6, or a mysterious ancient hero from the Great War from Chapter 6, basically explaining to the player that something is wrong with this timeline, and not everything seems as it seems, and your choices actually do matter here. So yeah, that's basically all my overall theories on a couple of things that need to be said. I would like your thoughts and opinions, and let me know if you have any additional thoughts about what I have here. Thank you for your time, and see you later. Bye bye.